4 Years of Breakfast, aka 69 Diner Love Songs Part 5. The Blini Generation, June 26, 2009. Taramak is a popular chain of Blini restaurants and a favorite snack source for anyone with a starchy sweet tooth, Natasha the photographer not excluded. The blin, or blintz, is Eastern Europe's answer to France's crepe, a permanent culinary prisoner of the Napoleonic War and a Russian staple. While blini are easy to make at home, Taramak has managed to successfully market the fast food blin to Russians everywhere. Taramak's success was no surprise to me. During my stay in Moscow, I quickly learned what it meant to be a full-time pedestrian. Central Moscow was a continuous street fair, metro stations and high-traffic streets were Newton 123 infested by kiosks like barnacles during low tide. Wherever I happened to be heading, beverages, snacks, newspapers, and cigarettes were always a few steps and a few rubles away. This meant I always had a Baltica beer in my hand, but it also meant that half of my meals were street food, and while my favorite was Moscow-style shawarma and I made too many drunken, homebound stops at Stardog's, Taramak was the breakfast treat that never failed to interrupt my brisk morning stride. The orange-dominant Taramak kiosks and restaurants are visually similar to 60s architecture and Soviet cartoons. I remember peering up into the caged boxes on Tverskia, making eye contact with the scowling blonde women who are sometimes 16 and sometimes 90, and nervously trying to pronounce with smoked salmon correctly to avoid the rolling of their pretty blue eyes. Then, once my order was finally translated, I would count out exact change, to avoid further eye-rolling, pay, and watch my blin cook on the non-stick helicopter pad. I remember those mornings well. After stopping at Taramak by the Beloruskia metro station, I still had a long way to class, so I often walked those next few blocks holding the blin, wrapped in foil and wax paper, with one corner exposed, waiting for it to cool down enough to eat while dodging stern, quick-stepping Muscovites. It was not unlike returning to my seat after visiting the concession stands at a ball game, if the ball game was a soccer match on the verge of a riot in 0-degree weather. They were delicious. Thinner than pancakes and thicker than most blintzes, one Taramak blin would fill me up but didn't overwhelm with starchiness. The menu offered sweet and savory choices, from chocolate or jam to ham and cheese or mushroom, such sides as kasha or salad, and such beverages as coffee or kvass. My favorite order at Taramak was a sour cream blin and a plastic bottle of medovuka, Russian mead with 5% alcohol content. The sour cream blin had a distinctly Russian taste, as do all things covered in sour cream that don't involve tortillas or beans. Other menu items like caviar and zelioni, dill mixed with other herbs, drove home the point that Taramak was a Russian institution. In a country where the three largest fast food chains, KFC, McDonald's, and Sparrow, aren't local, Taramak was Russia's corporate champion. The product of Russia's Pepsi generation was racing to catch up with the rest of the capitalist world, slapping a singular logo to an everyday breakfast comfort and finding very little competition in the post-Soviet market vacuum. In the coming years, who knows, maybe the Taramak logo will find its way to America. I hope so. After all, I am a fan.